Yep. So before I start, I would like to thank really the Angular Camp organizers and also all the sponsors to make this event and this venue very, so awesome. So thanks to them. And please give them some applause. Thank you, guys. So, who knows Angular Universal? OK, a couple of hands, great. So, my talk today is about server-side rendering with Angular 2. And this is what we like to call universality. So my name is Wassim Chegham. I work as a developer advocate at a company called Sphere in France. You can find me on Twitter. This is my Twitter handle, Manikineko, and also my GitHub handle. This weird icon here means that I am wearing a physical web T-shirt, so you can get my Twitter handle via Bluetooth later on, these 2 days. Yeah, I'm also a Google developer expert in web and Angular. And I like to travel and speak about the web platform and also, and in particular, Angular. So, first of all, why should we care about server-side rendering? I mean, we have beautiful SPAs, single-page applications, which works well. Why do we need server-generated static HTML files? Well, the first reason, of course, is SEO, search engine optimization. OK, let me just move to full screen. So yeah, I guess everyone knows what SEO means. Basically, you need your website or your web app to be indexed by most search engines, whether it be Google or Bing or Yahoo. And who has already tried to do SEO with, let's say, Angular 1? OK, like 5 people, yeah. Was it easy to do? OK, we should talk after. I'm curious how you did it. But yeah, in most cases, you need to set up like very complex build system, server system with like headless browser, render, all that stuff, and then serve it to the client. But yeah, first reason, SEO. Second reason, we have this thing called link preview. So basically, a link previews is when you copy and paste a link into a social media. So here, I guess you know which social media is this one. But basically, the bots, the robots of this social media request this site and generate a preview image of the link. So if your app is not server-side rendered, you would have like a blank screenshot. And most of all, because these two first things are good for any big enterprise application, but there is something more important for us is the user experience. I mean, your clients go to websites, and if your app is an SPA with no server-side rendering, they will be presented with a blank screen, and they will be completely lost. Where is the button? What should I do? And all the stuff. So this is what we call the web app gap. And I put up a little animation to explain and explain all the this web app gap thing. Basically, when you request the page, this is the first server response, and usually around 3 seconds up to 7 seconds. So this is some figures and statistics. Your user is lost, is really lost. Sometimes with the loader, please wait, we're loading all website. Sometimes with nothing at all. And prepared a video. Oh, here. So I guess you recognize which website is this. I did the test last time. I refreshed the page, and this is the web app gap. Did you see like 2 seconds, nothing happens, like emptiness? So we need to fix this issue. And how can we fix this gap? Well, first solution, like let's condense the 7 seconds into 1 second and send it to the server. I mean, this is physically impossible. Because, okay, we have fiber, but we need like 10 terabyte fiber to get to this. So this is not the good solution. What we do, I mean, most of the time what other frameworks do is they generate a page on the server, send it to the client, but at least the user, he or she sees something on the screen, like forms, text, images, something's happened. There is no loader, there is no blank page. And after your framework bootstraps, it takes over the states, and then all the stuff is happening now on the client side. So this is what most of the libraries and frameworks do. But as you can see, we don't have Angular 1 here because, in my opinion, it was really complicated to do. But yeah, maybe I should have put Angular 1 also. But the important thing here is now with Angular 2, we are able to do this also. And this is how it works. When you write your Angular 2 application, the code you write, HTML or and JavaScript, get transformed in what we call ASTs. And then those data structures get passed to the render layer. And this rendering layer uses the right renderer for the environment. So most of the cases, we use the DOM renderer because we're on the browser. The browser, there's DOM. But for Universal, for instance, we are using another renderer. So we wrote another renderer for this one. And of course, we can use, and this is true with Angular 2, it's because Angular 2 can run on web workers also. So it has another renderer for this. And so yeah, maybe native also. But doing this, it just, we just generate the static HTML file, send it to the client, and of course send the framework. And then when the framework arrives and takes over and bootstraps, you lose state because it bootstraps everything again. So how can we handle the state? So what Universal adds to this server-side rendering static file is something called Preboot.js. Preboot.js is a small JavaScript file we send alongside with the generated HTML file. And this script records every event that happens in your page. And you can configure it. You can tell it, listen to this event, and this event, but not this one, and so on. And when Angular 2 arrives at the client and bootstraps, it tells Preboot to replay all the events. So this is how we handle state. I didn't hear like wow or something like this, because this is really powerful. You need to see it in action, I guess. So this was like the theory, how all the stuff works under the hood. I'd like to show you some code for now. And this is how, for now, currently, this is how like we architecture a universal app. So at the top, you have your application, your Angular 2 application, normal one with no extra features for universal. But then you would provide two main entry files, one for your client and one for your server. So the clients, I will show you an example of each file. And of course, both pipelines, but they both consume the same index HTML or any route you have here. So this is your component, as Todd showed you earlier. This is a straightforward component, a hello world component. And this is the entry point for the browser. So you will find some familiar syntax, import the bootstrap function from the platform browser dynamic, your HTTP, for instance, or any other providers you need. The only difference here is you must return the bootstrap function. Don't call it straight away. You need to return it for this file, for the client file. And this file, you would notice there is a universal module here. So we import the Preboot complete function. So this function will tell Preboot to replay all the events. And you can see here, I'm bootstrapping my app and then passing the instruction to Preboot. For the server, and for this example, we are using Node.js. I will talk about this later. So this is the syntax. I mean, maybe to you it seems like a lot of code, but we only have like a function and a couple of imports. And this is where you configure your universal environment. You can see here, for instance, we are not using preboots, which means we don't care about state. We just need to server-side render the page. And this is the entry point for the server, and also it is dependent. What I want to say from here is this one uses Express.js, which is for Node. So, for instance, if you're using another framework, you would write a different entry point, for instance. But we also have a Happy.js implementation for this. And then this is the normal indexed HTML with no add-ons. One more thing. Because you want to add universal support, which is, by the way, you're not forced to add universal support to your application. If you are coding an internal application for your company or whatever, I don't suggest you add in universal support. Well, you could if you want, but however, if you are building a public-facing website or web app, maybe you should think about it. So if you want to build universal support, you should not touch the DOM directly. You see the red slide? What I mean by this is don't call DOM.querySelector or document.inner.html or something like that. You should use what Angular gives you. It gives you a renderer. You remember the DOM renderer I was talking about earlier? So you can import it from the core and use it to interact with the DOM, whether like changing the style or modifying the inner content. But please, yeah, use the DOM. Otherwise, we give some, we patch some methods on the server, but we can't patch everything. And all the code I showed you comes from a starter. So Angular Universal provides you with a starter. So you can use it. You can the blue text here is a link. I will share my slide later. You can click on it, and yeah, you will get the starter. So use the starter to start your project. And maybe in the coming future, we might add this to the CLI. Who uses the CLI, the Angular CLI, Angular 2 CLI in the audience? Not too many. The other people, why do you don't use the CLI? Is there any specific reason for this? It's not ready. I don't agree, but for the most common things, I think it's stable, it's ready, but of course, if you want to build your application on, optimize the build, there is some work on it, but if you want to bootstrap your application, generate all the files for you, the test files, all that stuff, you can start with it for now. Anyways, it's not to talk about CLI for now. We also have currently a front-end page, a front page on the Angular.io website. But if you see the address at the top, this one is special because it's built with Universal. The future one, which will be maybe next week online. We are working on this one. But yeah, the thing is, we're using Universal, so use it everywhere. And especially this is a public-facing website. So also, for those of you who knows about the progressive web apps, Angular provides you with a mobile toolkit, which generates an a version of the app which is optimized for the mobile, with some all the manifest stuff, all the service workers, all the thing. And it uses Universal to generate the app shell for you. So Universal is used also on things like progressive web apps. I have a demo. How I'm doing on time? It's good. Okay. I'm sorry. So yeah, I have my server running. Okay. Up. So first of all, I have two versions of the same app to the MVC app, classic to the MVC. This one is using Universal, and the other one is not using Universal. Well, you can say, because they both have already bootstrapped and all stuff. But here at the bottom, I activated the screenshot mode on the Chrome DevTool, reloaded the page, and then you can see the time of the first page render. So here we are 5 milliseconds. I have my content, and here, what is it, 4 seconds, and I still don't have my content. But let's see it in action. But because this is demo, this one. This one is so up. So I open the DevTool in both applications, go to the network panel, throttle the network because otherwise you won't see anything. It must be too fast, so I need to delay the network. So yeah, usually around 4G would work. Let's try this. Where is it? 4G. In the URL, you can see I'm providing extra parameters to configure my demo app. So I'm telling the first one to use the server, also use the clients, and use Preboot and bootstrap the app. For the other one, of course, I have the same parameter, but not not the server. So it's the client, the application would get compiled on the client side. Let's try this first one. Okay, so you see this one, and both are reloaded, but this one, I mean, I'm still waiting for the content to arrive. But this one, I already had the page, and of course, I'm not lying because my cache is disabled. One other thing is you can read the source file here and really see that the application was generated on the server side because we have all the CSS that gets inlined. We also have, if you're familiar with Angular 2, we have all the looking for the HTML. Yeah, here. I mean, we have all the template is here because when you compare it to the other one, we only have the index file, the static file. So let's close this one. So this was Angular Universal. If you want to contribute, just click on the link. It will redirect you to the GitHub issues. So we would love to see your contribution there. I mean, you can just fix anything, documentation, issue, test, whatever you want. And this is Universal, bro. So thank you, all of you. This is my Twitter, and you can scan the codes, my Twitter account. And thanks also to Jeff Willplay and Patrick JS, who are the core maintainer of the project. And here on the slide, I provide you with all the interesting resources. The first one is about the Angular 2 rendering architectures. It's a Google Docs where the team explains the application layer, rendering layer, how stuff work. And also, we have our Slack channel, Gitter, and the main universal repo, and also the starter repo. So if you want to build an app like this afternoon, play with the universal, use the starter. And tomorrow, if you want to contribute, I invite you to create your issues and send pull requests to the main repo. So thank you.